Once upon a morning when dewdrops wore crowns of rainbow light, there lived a playful kitten with fur as soft as dandelion wishes and eyes that sparkled like captured starlight. This little cat had the most curious heart in all the meadow, always wondering about every butterfly's destination and every flower's secret song. Each day, the kitten would tumble and pounce through the tall grass, chasing shadows that danced just beyond her velvet paws. Her whiskers would twitch with excitement at every new discovery, from beetles wearing emerald armor to clouds that looked like sleeping dragons in the endless blue sky. But there was one place that called to her curious spirit more than any other, a peaceful pond that nestled like a mirror among the willows, where water lilies floated like nature's own stepping stones and dragonflies painted shimmering trails across the surface. The kitten would sit at the pond's edge for hours, her tail swishing with wonder as she watched the water ripple and dance. Sometimes she would see silvery flashes beneath the surface, quick as lightning and mysterious as moonbeams. Her paws would reach toward the water, trying to catch these magical glimpses, but they always slipped away like liquid dreams. What are those shimmering treasures? She wondered aloud, her voice soft as a summer breeze. And why do they dart away whenever I try to say hello? Deep beneath the lily pads, where sunlight filtered down in golden ribbons, lived an ancient fish whose scales held the wisdom of countless seasons. His fins moved with the grace of underwater ballet, and his eyes held stories older than the willow trees themselves. The fish had watched many curious creatures come to his pond, but none had stayed long enough to truly listen. One particularly golden afternoon, when the sun painted everything in honey light, the kitten's reflection joined her at the water's edge. As she gazed into the peaceful depths, she noticed the wise fish swimming slowly toward the surface, his movements as gentle as floating leaves. "Hello, little friend," said the fish, his voice rippling through the water like silk. "I've watched you visit my pond many times. You seem to have questions dancing in your bright eyes." The kitten's ears perked forward with delight. Never before had she imagined that the shimmering creatures could speak. "Oh, wise fish," she whispered, careful not to disturb the water with her excitement, "I've wondered about your underwater world for so long. What secrets does your pond hold?" The ancient fish smiled, creating tiny bubbles that rose like pearls to the surface. "Patience, young seeker, and I will share the magic that lives beneath these waters. But first, you must learn to be still and quiet, for the greatest treasures reveal themselves only to those who wait with gentle hearts." This was harder than any game the kitten had ever played. Her paws wanted to pounce, her tail wanted to swish, and her whole body hummed with curious energy. But something in the fish's kind eyes told her this lesson was worth learning. So the kitten sat very still, her breathing soft as butterfly wings, watching as the fish began to weave stories through the water. With graceful movements, he showed her how the pond was home to countless tiny creatures, water sprites no bigger than dewdrops, snails that carried spiral houses on their backs, and tadpoles that dreamed of becoming frogs. Beneath every ripple, the wise fish explained, lives a small miracle. The water remembers every raindrop that has ever fallen, every star that has ever been reflected, every wish that has ever been whispered at my banks. As the days passed, the curious kitten learned to sit in peaceful silence, discovering that patience unlocked wonders she had never imagined. She watched baby fish play games of hide and seek among the water weeds, saw how the fish worked together to keep their pond home clean and beautiful, and learned that respect for others' spaces created the most magical friendships. The wise fish taught her that curiosity paired with patience becomes wisdom, and that the most beautiful discoveries come to those who approach the world with gentle reverence rather than eager grasping. Soon, other creatures began visiting the pond, a family of ducks who paddled in perfect formation, a shy deer who came to drink at twilight, and even a wise old turtle who shared stories of distant rivers. The kitten discovered that her newfound patience had transformed her from a creature who chased magic into one who attracted it. When autumn painted the willows in shades of gold and crimson, the wise fish gave the kitten his greatest gift of all. You have learned, dear friend, that the world reveals its secrets not to those who grab and chase, but to those who sit quietly and listen with their hearts. Carry this wisdom wherever your paws may wander. From that day forward, the curious kitten became known throughout the meadow as a creature of both wonder and wisdom. She still explored with a joyful heart, but now her adventures were guided by patience and respect. She had learned that true friendship blooms when we honor the spaces and ways of others, and that the most magical conversations happen when we listen as much as we speak. And on quiet evenings when the pond reflected stars like scattered diamonds, the kitten and the wise fish would share gentle conversations about dreams and discoveries, proving that the most beautiful friendships can flourish between the most unlikely companions when hearts are open and spirits are patient. Remember, little explorers, that the world is full of magic waiting for those who approach it with curious hearts and patient souls. Sometimes the greatest adventures begin not with running and chasing, but with sitting still and truly seeing the wonders that surround us every day.